Hey everyone, so I was given the topic today to speak on leading courageously this year. As we go into 2021, there are so many exciting things that God has in store for each and every one of us. And He is wanting us to step up and to lead courageously and grab hold of all that He has for us. So as I was thinking of this topic, I was reminded of a story I read of these lions that were trapped in an enclosure their whole lives. And they lived and ate and did everything in this electric fence enclosure. And one day the game rangers decided to open a section of the enclosure and put a massive meat carcass outside the opening and see what happened. So what they did was they opened the electric fence, left the meat there, and they wanted these lions to escape into the wild. It was their time now to go and fend for themselves. And so what happens is they watch these lions for days and nothing happens. All they do is they just circle the enclosure. They notice that there is an opening. They notice that there is food, but they never leave. Until one day, one of the lions is brave enough, and what happens is this lion's hunger exceeds its desire to stay safe. And what the lion then does is it runs out of the opening, grabs the meat, and drags it back into the enclosure, and all the lions get to feast on the meat. And I think it's such a beautiful picture of how, firstly, we are all in our comfort zones. We all have these enclosures around us. And until our hunger and our vision for what God has for us exceeds our desire to stay safe, we will never leave our comfort. We will never exceed into what God has for us because we're enjoying the enclosure and the safety of what we are used to. And what I love about that picture is that one lion had to step up in faith and grab the meat carcass and bring it back to the rest of the pack of lions. And if it hadn't done that, they wouldn't have been able to feast on what he had brought in. And when that lion did that, the rest of the lions got courage, and eventually, one by one, they started to leave the enclosure. And I think it's a beautiful picture of how us as leaders should be leading in a way that encourages and strengthens other leaders to lead courageously as well. And as I was thinking of this topic, I was reminded of a scripture in Philippians 1 verse 27 where it says this. It says, "Let your manner of life be worthy of the gospel of Christ, so that whether I come and see you or am absent, I may hear of you, and that you are standing firm in one spirit, with one mind, striving side by side for the faith of the gospel, and not frightened in anything by your opponents." And I love that because it says that we should be striving side by side with one another. Whoever God has placed next to you, the Christian leaders around you, in your youth group or in your church circles, He wants us to be striving, running in this race as a pack of lions, advancing His kingdom. And when we do that, it says in the beginning that we should be living a life worthy of the gospel of Christ. Whether you packing chairs on a Sunday or whether you're preaching to thousands, we should be living a life worthy of the gospel of Christ. And when we grab hold of this vision, we understand that what we're living for is far greater than ourselves, and we start to live with this boldness and this courage that only He can give us. So I want to encourage you that as we go into 2021, make sure that you're spending time in His presence, being consumed with Him so that He can build your faith and strengthen your faith to step out of your enclosures and to run into what He has for you. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.